everybody. Hope you like that super silent version of the NCR trailer.
Okay, good. I'm glad you noticed there was no audio.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. That's how I wanted to do it, though.
All right. Old-timey, 1930s trailer, right? That's
exactly. The only regret I have right now is that I did not have the piano music to play behind it, because Spotify did not have piano music on it.
Spotify is garbage.
Spotify
that's why
right
Jay-Z and Kanye West have their own thing now. It's $20 a month, and you get instant streaming to FLAC. It's not like that's gonna kill your goddamn bandwidth on your phone. Hey guys, I have 2 gigs of data. These FLAC songs, I want to play one album and that's it. GG.
Wow.
Yeah, also it's $10 a month more than Spotify, so that sounds like a ripoff.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't pay for Spotify. Spotify is free.
Woo. I mean, if you enjoy ads.
I don't care about ads. It's 5-second ads. I don't give a shit.
Aren't we used to commercials by now?
I left commercials behind when I stopped watching television.
Yeah, same.
I have ad blocker on all my browsers. I don't know what commercials are. The only time I know what commercials are is during the Super Bowl. That's it.
The only time I see commercials is when they play one before my videos on the WWE network.
Oh, you goddamn.
Which you can subscribe to for just $9.99.
You could also cancel it for free.
Whoa. Yes, that's true. But after last night's WrestleMania and apparently tonight's Raw, there's a chance it might be going somewhere good.
Nah.
It's possible. Before we get into that, a lot of people were asking what's going on with the sound. So I did some streaming at a friend's house last Sunday, and I was a little too lazy to set up all my streaming gear. So it's still in the pack, and I'm going off super budget shit right now. And I'm going to bring in all the NCR so we can record and stream matches.
Yay!
That's right. If Vin does not hate on the idea. And if Vin hates on it, I'm just going to do it in the after hours area.
Oh, yeah, the after hours area should be fun.
Yeah.
I think there's one man that could convince Vin.
And his name is John Cena!
Oh my god!
Wow, that just happened.
That was awesome. That was perfect. That was perfect. 2 thumbs up.
Thank you for that.
Would listen to again.
Oh
shit.
But yeah, yesterday, my brain is still there. Holy shit! Who's sitting next to a fan?
Me.
Okay. Just making sure. But yeah, yesterday was awesome. Tonight's apparently awesome. I don't want anybody spoiling me, despite me being the big spoiler asshole I am. No karma, please.
But, so yeah, we actually have a lot to talk about this week. And the thing is, I really just wanted to talk about WrestleMania, so I couldn't have been a slow week.
Too bad. We'll do it. We'll get that out later.
The only thing that mattered at WrestleMania was the fact that, I don't know if people know this, but it was the return of the No Limit Army. The biggest No Limit soldier, Rusev, showed up in a goddamn tank to blow people up. But he didn't blow anyone up. The Niner Stadium's still standing. I don't understand why. He should have demolished that shit.
Boy, that stadium really sucked for the event.
Oh yeah, that shit was bad.
It was awful.
I had to sit behind, and this is Ticketmaster's fault, first of all. You don't put people behind a production pillar.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you those gigantic tees that they had all over the place.
Yeah.
I assumed you were around one of those.
I was right behind one. The entire section was just behind that.
Bad. I would have been so fucking mad.
I was at first. I was like, "Fuck, dude, this is really stupid." And we paid $200 for these tickets, and I'm sure everybody else in our the same kind of seat would pay the same amount basically, except they just got positioned somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess normally Ticketmaster doesn't worry about that because those things aren't there, but for yesterday they were. So that sucked.
Complain to Mr. McMahon. He'll take care of it.
I'm sure he will. But on the bright side, even with that, everybody in the section was super fucking hype. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I heard that it was really hot there as the event started.
Oh yeah, like a fucking skillet.
That's so bad. Just do the damn thing inside. It wasn't even dark by the time Undertaker came out.
Yeah.
Like, you could still have your daytime running lights on when Undertaker came out.
I was kind of hoping that they were just gonna stall, like.
I think they were trying to, and they just didn't. It just wasn't going to cooperate with them. Nighttime wasn't coming fast enough.
Well, Santa Clara like gets dark like at freaking 8 o'clock, despite everywhere else getting dark at 6 or 7. You know.
Should have thought about it.
Well, aside from Santa Clara just being a shithole, it was a great event.
Yeah.
Hey now, I was born in Santa Clara.
That explains a
That
lot.
explains why you're a shithole.
Oh my god.
But we can talk more about WrestleMania a little bit later, as much as I'd love to, because there actually is a bunch of stuff that has happened in the last week. And the biggest news would probably be, at least for California, is what happened today when we officially got the delay of SoCal Regionals.
Oi.
Ah, yes.
So after having apparently some venue problems due to construction, SCR will not be taking place in the first week of May. It will be, at this point, scheduled for 5th through 7th of June, tentatively, because they're still working out details with the venue.
I mean, that's fine. We all knew that, something was going to happen like that because realistically, it just was not working out at all.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Go on.
Whatever Via was trying, like more power to him for doing what he had to do to make it happen. But whatever it was, it just clearly the odds were against him.
Yeah.
And from what Vias said on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, they don't have a venue. All they have is one place that they're looking at tomorrow or Wednesday or some shit. So hopefully they get that. That way the show happens. But apparently, from the reaction on Twitter, some people are all for this because like, oh, hey, I can make it now. And other people are like, well, can't make it anymore. Rip.
Well, it's
I think
June 5th now, right?
Yeah. I think, honestly, the biggest issue right now is that it's putting itself really close to 2 other tournaments. And it's also starting to bumper up against people who are going to go to less events, and Evo's the next month.
Right.
So you have Combo Breaker at the end of May. You also have CEO in June. And then at the beginning of July, there's Evo. So if, you're only going to, say, 1 tournament a quarter, well, SCR's screwed. It's out of luck. Because most people are going to choose Evo over that.
Yeah.
Honestly, what should happen at this point, they should just postpone it until after Evo and beginning of the tournament season, sort of. That'd probably be the smartest kind of thing to do.
Yeah, honestly, or even just, canceling it.
But it's a Capcom event now. It's got like.
Oh, that's right. There is. I forgot. It's part of Pro Tour.
Can you imagine if and it's not just points. It's a premier event, isn't it?
Yeah. No. Yeah, it is.
So.
Well, with that, they can still postpone it till after Evo, but pre, Capcom.
Yeah, pre
right?
Capcom finals. Capcom
I like
Cup
that
finals.
idea.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be. Only time will tell how.
Because if they do that, it'll still be within the 1 year, and then potentially people could push their tickets back, or something, because they can't get a refund.
Dude, did people buy tickets already? Holy shit!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, some people definitely had.
Oh my god, dude. I imagine I think that puts them in a position where they just can't cancel it. It's like literally, you'll never work in this town again.
Yeah. It's truly a shame. But early speculation that we had right here about it being run in that dumpster. Things are possible as time goes on.
That dumpster called Irvine, yeah.
It's in industrial grade quality dumpster.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that sucks. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it. That's usually my third stop. Actually, my first stop normally, but I guess it would be my second stop today or this year. So now it's gonna be my third if it's after Evo, because man, and I can't even go to Northwest Majors because it's too close to NCR. Fuck.
Yeah, man, just a lot.
I'm just sitting on my hands this year till Evo. Oh, and NCR too, which is at the end of the week. Hey!
Yay! Good old NCR.
Now we're the only game in town.
Yeah, I guess you kind of are. For at least a little while.
Well, I mean, at least for a year, and to see what happens, you know, if Viad pulls it together, or if he doesn't, then
I have a feeling that. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything.
You're not gonna
the bad string of luck he's had so far. I'm not gonna try to jinx it or anything like that. Basically, because it does seem like, for whatever reason, this has just not worked out. So, good luck to him. I hope he can pull something together.
Well, here's what's interesting about it, right? Like, as soon as he announced that it might have to be postponed, there was already talk about people saying, like, well, there are some pretty big names attached to this event already that could, quote unquote, easily make this event happen. Maybe not on the day that they specified, but it could still happen this year with their help. You know, certain Capcom and Twitch, basically. You know, and the thing about that is, while nobody, Twitch is no stranger to either bailing out tournaments or just helping out with tournaments in general. I kind of feel like in this case it would set like a really weird precedent. Like, what if like the new game was pretend your event's going to get canceled and get bailed out by Twitch or Capcom?
Yeah, I mean, we sort of talked about this off air, where we were just talking about what happened at Apex with Twitch bailing them out was sort of a catastrophe that happened the day of the tournament.
Right.
Like, hey, the ballroom is collapsing. Hey, we don't have Apex anymore. This is months in advance, and I don't think that either Capcom or Twitch is going to pony up the resources to deal with what basically at this point is just kind of scheduling conflicts.
No, I agree. They shouldn't do that. That's gonna, like I said, that's just gonna leave the door open for like all sorts of flim-flammery. Not that I'm accusing anyone of doing that, but it is tempting, you know, if you could get a free tournament and the boost from the Twitch. Anyway, that's why it's not happening. If anybody was wondering.
Yeah. So.
Hope it happens. Hope everything works out. I want to go to 3 tournaments this year.
Other big thing that happened today was the announcement of yet another Pro Tour, and it's the MKX Pro Tour.
Can we just have like the amateur tour?
Well, that's kind of what, you know.
Are you the MKX Amateur Tour? It's just Walkman in a room. If he's actually by that dumpster, he's been talking about this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is the amateur tour guy.
Is it like literally amateur hour right now? Just like.
I'm going to get the greasiest linguine in the business because it's going to be covered in actual waste grease.
Ew,
what the hell,
That's just kind of weird and gross.
It's by the Techron. The chevron in the Italian place.
So you know it's
telling
clean.
me is that your Italian now has Techron?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotta clean out the system, you know?
Listen to that tiger growl. Oh my god.
But
that's cool. I mean, like, I heard 2 things. One, that it is being picked up by a couple of outfits that, you know, do esports basically. And 2, apparently they've got some DLC thing that funds the tournament purse or something.
I did not know that.
They have it's the what's it called, Sub-Zero Blue Steel DLC costume that apparently will put money into the plot.
Oh, that's really interesting. That's definitely taking ideas from Dota.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Tony, you can stop yelling now. They did it.
I'm just saying, like, there's ways people will respond to incentives, and in order to, you know, people do, like, even though it's kind of dumb, people will put merit into prize pools, you know, as some sort of way to measure some sort of legitimacy of your event. And people respond to incentives, so just, you know, you get both.
Yeah. And
so,
if you're not getting what we're saying here, people, we're saying you're welcome. Because if you listen to last week's episode, this is exactly what we were saying needs to happen.
Yeah.
Again, SDR does it. The industry is listening.
Well, but so it's really interesting to see yet another game kind of be like, okay, you know, we're going to bring a bunch of people together and we're going to put money in it. Obviously, this is all starting off with the Fatal 8 event that is going to be happening. I think it's later this month, actually. I forget off the top of my head I saw it, and I lost it. Well, right. I had it, and then I lost it. You know, that happens sometimes. Oh, yes. It's April 11th. Yeah. So.
Oh, sick.
I guess it's technically not this month, but April's coming.
Close enough, right? Just round it up.
And then they're going to do some online tournaments, and then they're going to do qualifiers, a big mid-season event, more qualifiers, and then the finals. So it's interesting and what's interesting to note, honestly, for me, is that the game is being played on Xbox One in North America and most of Europe, and then in the Commonwealth of Independent States, it's on PC.
Wow.
Yeah, PC.
So no PS3, PS4.
Do you think that was a power?
Interesting.
Do you think that's like a power play or something?
I feel like there's probably some Microsoft sponsorship behind it, yeah. Especially with Sony kind of getting with Street Fighter,
Right.
Pro Tour. I think maybe they wanted a little bit of it.
Well, I don't see Sony getting too interested in Mortal Kombat X anyway. I mean, not unless like they came to them and were like, "Hey, you can us too, please," you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing is, I wouldn't have really thought that Sony would have been that interested in Street Fighter either.
Yeah, that's true. That kind of came out of nowhere.
So,
I think that there probably is interest because, you know, Street Fighter's a pretty big name, and you want to really get as much, you know, exclusives as you can, so to speak. And then Sony's probably just like, well, we got nothing. Last Guardian's not coming out. All our other exclusives are pretty garbage. So, you know, or at least our first party stuff. So, we got to get something. So, might as well get something that they could put money into and potentially see maybe more of a profit because of the whole, you know, esports appeal kind of thing to it.
Wait. So, what does this mean for non-ESL affiliated brands as far as consoles go?
How do you mean?
Probably like, what's the tournament standard?
That's gonna be interesting to find out, because what really has always struck me is that MK9 was always played on PS3.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people playing on PS3 pad or even PS2 pad with the converter. So this is going to be a problem because that's a huge adaptation point where, you know, like, are we going to try to get more converters again? It's a whole mess.
And this all goes back to imagine if we just had PCs to play on. I'm just saying, we could play our Street Fighter 5s and our MKXs all on the same machine.
Doesn't work that way. Street Fighter 5's PS4 exclusive. We can't play it on the same machine as, you know.
It's also for PC with crossplay.
Oh man, it says exclusive.
Yeah, exclusives these days mean console and PC. Because if they're smart, they'll put it on the PC because that's still the largest, you know, market that they have.
Then why do they use the word exclusive?
Because you can't get it on another console.
But technically, PC is a console. It's a platform. It's a console. You know, you play video games.
It's not a console.
It's a gigantic console I have sitting here next to me.
That's what you'd like to think. But that is not the case.
That is definitely what I think.
Wait. Are you telling me that the guts of a PC are so different from a guts of
Thank you.
of a console that the two are not the same? Are you a bigot?
Wait, hold on. So if that's the case, by that logic, which is the truth, PCs and consoles are identical now. Like the guts to a PC are what's inside of a console. Doesn't that make a PS4 a PC? Doesn't that make PS4 the master race? Doesn't that make Xbox One the master race?
Didn't somebody once say, judge a man not by the appearance of his skin, but the content of his character?
Yeah, well, let's just say that the content on this console is pretty garbage.
I think that was Boone, right?
Said that?
That might have been Boone, right?
That was Tim Allen.
Okay. I thought it was Ed Boone.
Also, Tony, I know you're really big on the PCs, but do your PCs have blast processing? Check and
yes. No, like they do. Even the Super Nintendo had blast processing. Even when they said it didn't.
But Does your PC have Mode 7? Doesn't. Does it have the Super FX chip? Doesn't. Check and Tony.
It doesn't need the Super FX.
Yes, it does.
What are you telling me?
Otherwise, you have to insert 80 more cores. Get your PC nonsense out of here.
What? Anyway.
He's right!
Like we were talking before with the advent of Windows 10 and this whole cross-buy with Xbox One, it'll be really, really neat to see, I'm sure KI at that point will probably get a PC port. But
I hope so. I would love to see it get a PC port. I feel like it would have happened already.
Not necessarily, because they still want people to buy into their console, even if it is for something like that.
Well, all right. Well, going back to my original point, though, we're looking at Evo with 3 or 4 consoles.
No, more than that.
More than that?
Let's see, we got
I'm talking about official
PS4.
games.
No, just PS4, PS3, Wii, GameCube.
And possibly Xbox One.
Oh yeah, KI. But Mortal Kombat's gonna be ran on PS4.
Are we sure about that? Is that something that Microsoft won't step in and say, "Hey, we don't want this game being ran"? Because
about GameCube?
I just want to say, you know how those companies get about things like being ran on platforms they don't approve of. Arcade Shock knows this personally.
So we're gonna have PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, GameCube, Wii U, and I think that's all of them.
Yeah, I'm not saying
6
that.
consoles.
I think it should all be on PS4 too. But is this something that the companies will step in and say, for something the size of Evo, we don't want to give up this advertisement opportunity, especially with KI already being there?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the question is going to remain is Evo going to have any kind of hand in this whole Pro League? Because if not, then Evo is going to run it on whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And from the original postings about the tournament, they are not involved whatsoever.
Okay.
So, unless something happens between then and now, I would say if it was originally said PS4, it's going to be on PS4. That's my guess.
I'm hoping for that, because I know some people are going to complain about it once, they start talking about tournament standards, this and that, that's unavoidable. But we don't want plans to change too close to the event or any other related events. I mean, unless, Microsoft is going to show up and hook everybody up with Xbox Ones just for the tournament, then...
Oh, wait, hold on. You mean to tell me Oprah's just going to bust down the doors and say, you get an Xbox One, you get an Xbox One, like that? Is that what's going to happen?
That would be pretty sick, honestly. I would totally take back everything I said about her 5 years ago.
You know what would be cool though is if Microsoft did kind of do that for a big tournament, because I mean think about when the Xbox 360 Slim version came out, everybody that was at the press conference got one for free. Yeah. At E3. So I mean to help with a company that runs something that if you want to run on your product and thus advertise your product as well, I mean obviously they have the means to do so. I'm sure the overhead on those things too are $50 for an Xbox One. They probably don't pay crap.
You mean, what do they actually get out of it?
No, I mean how much their cost is to produce one.
Basically,
of those things.
producing them and giving them out. How much money are they losing?
Oh, I don't know.
Which shouldn't be much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Arcade's gonna be at Evo too. Whoops.
Yep.
It's not a console though.
I mean, you're right.
Go ahead and say it. The guts are exactly the same. Stop being so racist, people.
It is a PC after all.
I mean, it is. It's not. Well, it's a PC and a board, though. I think in Technic's case.
Doesn't it run on a slimmed down Windows XP? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the boot up, so yeah.
It's a PC. Just like how the Dreamcast wasn't a console, it was a Windows CE machine.
Good old Windows CE.
Oh man, that was the only
Champion
instance
edition.
There we go. It was the only instance where CE ran smoothly.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it ran so smoothly you could play burnt discs on it.
Yes, and you don't slow down, right? Not even on a crappy disc.
Yeah. The only downside was, people had trouble porting shit to it if it wasn't native to it. And by people, I just mean SNK. But hey, some things happen.
I'd say Capcom had some problems porting stuff too.
Yeah,
Did
they did pretty well though.
Not Dreamcast.
Well, Dreamcast ports are pretty good. I mean, other than like the frickin' the big three, but Project Justice was awesome.
Project Justice was phenomenal. It wasn't awesome. It was phenomenal. Possibly the greatest fighting game on the Sega Dreamcast. All right.
As far as I'm concerned, the only one.
That
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Because we damn sure didn't play Guilty Gear X on it.
Who wants to play Third Strike version B?
Whoa.
Oh dear. They had
What about New
JoJo's
Generation?
Bizarre
That's a
Adventure.
good game.
You need to shut up.
You just gotta buy W Impact. That's it. W Impact has 2 of them.
Well, W Impact wasn't available in America, right? Was it?
No, it wasn't. I had to import it from Japan. And I was like, oh man, this game is still shit. then I stopped playing.
Hey, Yang's good in it. That's all I care about.
Only thing I liked about it was Dudley had that Thunderbolt drop thing that he doesn't have in Third Strike. That shit is sick.
He has it in Street Fighter 4 again.
That shit is useless in this game. So
Maybe
sick.
it's just
so
because
sick.
it's useless in general.
It was
Man.
terrible.
Think about it.
That was actually the worst move in the game.
He gets more height than that Seth Rollins guy did last night when he got RKO'd.
Oh, that was
and then
lovely.
he drops on you while
Mwah.
spinning downward. That shit is beautiful.
Well,
Imagine Dudley doing that to Randy Orton and getting RKO'd. Wouldn't that be sick, Paul?
Well, just like what happened, I'm pretty sure Dudley would have taken an RKO because that move was punishable on hit.
But it's called Thunderbolt.
See, thank you.
It's a bolt of sound.
That's not even a boxing
bolt
move.
of sound.
See, you know what's fucked up about that? That's not even a boxing move. Like,
How do you know it's not a boxing move?
because have you seen
Yeah,
Mike Tyson do it? Then it's not a boxing
Mike Tyson.
move.
I haven't seen Mike Tyson do the Dempsey roll.
Yeah, he did.
I have not seen him.
I've seen him do
I've seen him
Dempsey roll.
elbow the shit out of people. I've seen him bite people. I've seen him headbutt people.
All boxing
I don't
moves.
think I've ever seen him
All
touch people with
boxing
his
moves.
fists. Outside of Mike Tyson's punch out.
Are you going to tell
I've
me
never seen
that
him
Mike
hit people with
Tyson
his
did
fists.
not box the shit out of Evander Holyfield's ears with his
Well,
teeth?
he-
Oh, wow.
I mean, his teeth had a little something to say to his ears.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. His teeth is boxing his ears. Like, wow, this guy's a genius.
Really is. Mike Tyson way ahead of his time. Like, why didn't anyone else bite off a piece of their opponent's ear?
I mean, I'm sure they did.
That's not true. Back in the Wild West, they used to have a thing called rough and tumble, which was settled before they had things like the Bowie knife and the revolver, where people would varnish their nails and sharpen their teeth to where the winner of the fight would be the one who was correct in that sort of part of law by
Are you
either
reading a
biting off.
Wikipedia entry right now?
No, I went to college. So,
Apparently not long enough.
no, seriously, this is from history of the far western frontier, where they would either bite people's noses off or snap out an eyeball or bite off earlobes or anything they could. And then whoever got dismembered first would be the loser, and the winner would be able to do one.
He's right about all this. I remember learning about that in the same class. But they also taught us about this thing called the double burning wood stove.
They didn't tell you about that. I told you about that.
Oh, that was
me and
you, yeah.
Me and Mr. Thessalonian got your
Yeah,
back on
yes,
that.
yes.
Is that anything like a Dutch oven?
I mean, I wasn't
It's
actually
way
disputing whether it was fact. It just sounded like he was literally reading something off a piece of paper in front of him.
Well, that's how
I know how
Tony
to
talks,
dictate.
but he don't read, so.
I don't read, dude.
But anyway, yeah, we don't want to see 4 consoles at EVO, so. Yeah.
We're gonna see 4 consoles.
Yeah, we're seeing a whole lot of consoles at EVO.
Damn it, guys! we told ourselves we wouldn't let this happen.
I mean,
It was-
it wasn't up to us, to be completely honest.
It wasn't up to us. Remember when when the Wii first came out and we all thought that was gonna be the fighting game system? Man, we should have just
No.
went with the Wii
What the hell are you talking about? Who thought that was gonna be the fighting game system?
because
Nobody.
there were 2 games that came out for it when nobody else knew that Street Fighter 4 was gonna come out for. We
There
had
was Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and what else?
and the freaking upgraded version of Action Core or some shit.
Oh yeah, Action
Nobody
Core
played
Plus.
that.
That's I know nobody played it because we were stupid. We could have solved all these problems if we had just stuck with Nintendo.
The reason everyone is stupid is because they didn't play Castlevania Judgment.
No, God,
All right?
stop talking.
Grant was in that game. He shanks the shit out of you. Think
Please
about
stop.
that for a moment. God damn. What's wrong with you?
You can go play Castlevania Judgment with the beautiful dude because it's the only Castlevania game he played.
Hold on. You mean to tell me I get to have the company of a beautiful dude with me while I'm playing a video game?
Yep,
What
you
is
do.
not wrong with this? Like, why are you?
I mean, except for the fact that he's played no other Castlevania games, I'd say that's pretty wrong.
Really? He hasn't?
Yeah, he even said he hasn't.
Has he ever played a platformer?
I have no idea. I'm afraid to ask that question.
Yeah, because I feel like if he hasn't played Castlevania, then that's going to be a no.
Here, this is what we do. We just hit him up on the Twitter. I know he's played Virtual Fighter. He knows all about my boy El Blaze, so... That shit was sick.
It's not the same El Blaze he was talking about.
Oh, man.
No, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was, the Virtual Fighter. That's what he's talking about, El Blaze, yeah. Not like that, huh? So...
Well, there was another blow-up last Tuesday. And one we were following rather closely.
Was it?
And?
It's about Persona 4, Arena 2. And we finally got our answer directly from Atlas, who I will applaud for biting the bullet and finally coming clean about it, but there will be no update at EVO.
Which, so far, has actually gone over pretty decently with the community in the US.
I think so, too.
There's definitely a level of disappointment that not only is there no date, before EVO that we're going to have this, but there's no notice of whether we're getting it at all. Like, they just said, well, you're going to be playing the normal console version at EVO. They didn't say, yeah, we're working on the update, or no, the update's not going to make it by EVO. They just said, yep, you're playing what's out.
I think the Persona community has been handling it fine because the game's in either way. They should just be happy that they don't have to learn a new iteration of the game.
That's a lot of people. I think a lot of people were worried that it was going to be one of those last minute things. So I think people are they're fine with it. They're like, okay, well, we can practice what we have now and we should be fine going into EVO. So overall, the community seemingly, I'd say, has been overall more positive than negative.
Yeah,
I would say that.
And that's good. And on the outside of that, there's been a lot of people who have been upset, even though they don't even play Persona, because the update's not coming out, and they think Unio needs to be in. And you can say what you want about the jokes and everything, but at the end of the day, if you're signing up for Pre-4 and you're playing it and you're okay with it, nobody else gets to say shit.
Yeah, I think again, it's like we were talking about last week. People just need to lay off other games or stop trying to step on other games to get their game in. It's like the choice was made to bring in Persona for EVO, and I don't think that's going to change. So let the people who want to play Persona enjoy it.
Yeah, and trust me, guys, we want Unio. Well, I want Unio in there more than anybody, but I'm not gonna. If the community's behind it, then it should be a great tournament, right?
Well, and it seems like the community is behind it. Even with the fact that they're not getting the update, everybody seems like there's still going to be a good number of players showing up. I mean, I wasn't really sure that Persona was going to do that well a couple years ago when it was at EVO, and actually it had probably one of the better top 8s I saw that weekend. So it was really exciting.
And that was after they put it on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So I
mean, to be completely honest with you, I'd kind of rather have the game I want to watch on Saturday than at fucking 10 in the morning on Sunday. But that's just me.
There was one thing that I found interesting with the announcement that the update wouldn't be out, was that BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma's update's going to be out by then, right?
Oh, yeah. It comes out in April.
Right.
April in Japan. The US version of CP Extend will not be out till sometime this summer.
Okay. But still, it's basically available.
The US community is going to have the game, and we'll be playing it.
Right. So I thought it was kind of interesting that somebody had to know that ahead of time, and they still didn't put it in the lineup, which means this was probably Atlas's call, and Atlas, for whatever reason, didn't feel like they needed to push out an update. It's just, there's a lot of time discrepancy here that's just weird to me.
I'm not sure that that's necessarily true. I feel like it could be true. I feel like this could have been an Atlas decision, or I feel like it could have been just an unawareness of the arcade actually getting an update. Because arcade got the update in about mid-January, I want to say, which was right around the same time that EVO games were announced. So maybe it was legitimately just that people were not paying attention.
It's possible. And I doubt they were going to mention like an update to EVO staff before they came up with a lineup.
Well, I definitely don't think that... Well, I can't say that. I was going to say I don't think they talked to Arc System Works about the games being in, but maybe they have.
And it's Arc
So-
Systems Works who's pushing the update still. It's like, I guess it's Atlas's request or demand, but Arc Systems is doing the legwork.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm wondering what's going to happen for Guilty Gear, because we haven't heard anything from ArcSys about Xrd, but it was Atlas who came forward saying about Persona. So maybe that not doing the update is Atlas's decision.
I think so.
That still seems really odd. Like, well, is it really that difficult to, push the update out early, or at least like have it on a different time schedule?
Well, it's Arc Systems doing all the work, and technically they're working on 3 games right now, so it might be.
But you know what I mean? Where it's in the sense that, like, if you're gonna have an update, couldn't we get the update like beginning of the year or something like that? Like, the time frame for releasing these things just seem really awful when it comes down to Evo.
Well, this is something that a lot of people have been like kind of worried about recently, is because we're kind of in the situation we were in like 5-6 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, when we were like just playing Midnight Carnival when Reload's out.
Well, it's been a constant problem. Arc Systems and their release dates and their basically their arcade cycle. And we've talked about this in the past. They don't have any interest in scheduling their games and their updates around Evo. They have a schedule, and that is the way they do business, and they're not going to change it for one tournament.
Why would they change it for one tournament when they have their own tournament?
I mean, exactly.
But their tournament's arcade platform.
Yes,
That's fine.
which is what they care about.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that they enjoy some profits from the console versions, but where they make the majority of their money is arcade. So they're not going to change their release schedule so that Evo can have the newest versions of everything.
And this has, of course, always been true.
Yeah,
I just kind of feel like that's. I just think it's a kind of a way to like backfire, because remember when BlazBlue, they couldn't play CS, like they just canceled the game at Evo, so that's like less publicity. Obviously I don't think that's going to happen this year or anything like that, but I mean, there's definitely some sort of response to this. It's like, oh well, you guys want to put your hands in and money into the game that you want to get supported, but you won't release what people want in a timely manner so that they can play what they want.
Well,
It's just kind of odd to me.
I think we're still in that level where, Arc Systems is realizing there is something worth for supporting here. Not that, like, when Paul says that they only care about the arcade cycle, that doesn't mean that they can't someday care about the Evo cycle,
Yeah.
Like, it's very possible they might start caring about competitive cycles, because, I mean, look at the world. The whole world cares about competitive gaming now, They'd be dumb not to, like, at least take a bite of it.
Right, and I think if they do that, though, it will be not based around Evo.
No, probably not. It actually might be their own tournament circuit.
That's what I would think they would end up doing. But the thing about that is that they would honestly have to be doing it with somebody else, because they're not a very big company.
Nope. A lot of people forget that, too. A lot of people seem to think Arc Systems is like, Capcom status, I guess.
No, yeah, definitely not. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It is frustrating. I mean, obviously, we've had this happen so many times. The year we played Double X instead of Reload, the year BlazBlue didn't get in. And there are a couple times around the Slash transition,
Oh, boy.
Accent Core transition. Like, it's always been a mess. And now this year. And I just don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But hey, maybe it will.
I don't know. It just kind of feels like the companies just don't give a shit, and it's always kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I always feel that way too. It's like, okay, well, you guys could at least just maybe be working on something else, like for us, and maybe run it just a little bit faster. No, okay, well, never mind. Sorry for asking. My bad.
I'll buy your next game.
Yeah, or at least like let us know what's going on, why, what the thought process behind it.
Well, that kind of transparency is something that, they're still not comfortable with. They're still on that level where they're like, the less we know, the better, and if we can get blindsided by something, then they can just, they basically can just leave that P4 bomb there and walk away. And that's basically what they did.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's just really, really strange to do this sort of thing. But not unheard of. I just felt that people would look more into this. I'm assuming maybe Atlas just like, I don't know, whatever.
Well, some people were saying, I have 2 points really quick. Some people were saying that the game hasn't particularly sold that well in the US. And that maybe that was part of Atlas's decision, like, hey, we're not going to dedicate any kind of resources to rushing this out. No idea if that's actually true, because, you hear rumors on Twitter and it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah. The other thing I want to say is, I mean, this is nothing new. Like, game makers, fighting game companies still are keeping major parts of information from their players in 2015. We still don't have a complete list of all the changes in Ultra Street Fighter 4 probably. We didn't when they first came out with the change list. The new 1.1 Guilty Gear Xrd update, there is no official change list anywhere, even though they wrote official change lists for a couple of the location tests. Like, people just don't care about giving the players all the information.
That's so weird, though. Why?
I don't know. It's confusing to me, actually. I feel like you would want to give them... Obviously, when you have somebody like Harada, who actually, he has reasons why he doesn't want to put all the frame data out there, you don't have to agree with him. But at least he has some reason behind it, and he's talked about it. Nobody else really seems to have any kind of rationale behind it at all.
I think with a lot of the Street Fighter 4 changes and what came out, I just feel like the reason why we don't have a comprehensive list of what the changelog is because I doubt they even take note of it, from considering if you look at how when Cody picks up the knife, he has completely different frame data. It's probably because they just legitimately were just like, this is just kind of like all over the map. We're not entirely sure what's going on anymore.
Oh, you're just saying it's a big hot mess?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I mean, this is just my speculation. Just like...
You know what it is? It's called being lazy.
I mean, that
Every
too.
company does it. It's not like a bad thing. It's just there's so much information they're going to have to put down. They're like, you know what? Let's have people discover it on their own. And then when they discover some of this stuff, maybe they'll find some glitches that they can report to us, and we can see. We'll see if we fix them or not. We'll see.
Oh, for those who are actually wondering about Harada said he doesn't want to ever have all the frame data listed for Tekken games because he feels like, it basically shortens the life of the game by giving all the possibilities and all the secrets away to the players from the beginning, and it doesn't allow people to grow in the game as they play it more.
I think with him, it's more so that he just wants to sit in the corner of a room and just drink his Patron without anyone bothering him.
I mean, that could be
actually doing this, but I mean that's fine. Either works. I'm cool with that. Barada's good people. Look at him. He's cool. See, he wears sunglasses, right? That's what makes you cool, right? Oh, never mind. How because you wear sunglasses, you're not cool. I'm sorry.
I told you.
Shit. All right.
Hey, wait a minute.
So.
Oh, he's cool because he's not Ono. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Makes sense. There you
go. That does make a lot more sense now that you've mentioned it that way. So that's been obviously pretty big news all around, all the things. The other thing that happened, kind of a local California thing, is that San Diego's venue Salt Mines is going to be closing at the end of May.
Very sad.
Kind of sad to see that happening. But it's just another thing. Just not enough resources, not enough people having enough time. So it's hard.
I mean, we're facing a situation where people are they're already forced to go play gatherings at people's houses, which isn't bad, but that also limits the amount of engagements that you can experience.
Yeah, definitely. And we've talked about that on the show, about how there's such a difference between going to somebody's house to play games and going to the arcade, where you have to invest so much more in going to somebody's house.
Right.
Because you're required to have interpersonal, like communication and interpersonal skills when you go to somebody's house, or else, to be honest, you shouldn't get invited back. Because if you go to somebody's house and you don't say anything to them, like, that's super rude.
That's just weird too. Like how do you get away? How do you do that?
Yeah. So meanwhile, you go to the arcade, you don't have to say anything to anybody. You just go in, you put your quarters in or tokens or whatever, or slide your card, and you just play the game. You can walk away, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's a lot less engagement there, and not having both those sort of options really does hurt some people, because you hate to have to. When you know all the same people you play all the time, people do generate tendencies from playing one another, or you don't get that as wide a range of play styles.
Right.
Because it's always the same people. So the arcade was something different in that regard. Or even stuff like a LAN center is different in that regard.
You know what's the one thing I miss, and I was thinking about this a little while ago. Like, obviously hanging out at people's houses is cool if you're friends with them and whatever. You know, you have a small group of people you enjoy. Obviously, like you stated, you might not get to have the widest range of people to play against. But what I really enjoyed beyond the number of people I could play at an arcade was the days that I would just get off of work and it was like, yo, this is terrible. I want to just smash somebody's face in and just hit standing roundhouse as many ways as possible and take my rage out on people and just not interact with them. Just put the blinders on and just thrash everybody. Yeah. That's kind of hard to do when you go to somebody's house and it's like, hey, man, you want a drink? It's like, look, I just want to digitally smash your face into the ground. Please, just shut up.
Well, and the other thing about hookups is that you always have to schedule a hookup. Like, you could just go when you got out of work. You're like, I'm out of work. I can go to the arcade. There was a belief that somebody would be there. Even if it was somebody who was bad, you're like, there's likely going to be somebody I can play there.
I think that's worth a lot more than just not having that at all, you know?
Yeah.
And it was the two things went like so well together, because the way that a lot of people in my community did it was we go to arcades, pretty much, get out in the gene pool, mess around, go back to the gatherings with information, you know?
The worst part about hookups at houses to me is having to schedule them and then go through with scheduling.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass. Because if you're the host, you're taking a big chunk out of your time, like your evening or whatever, for some random number of people. You don't even know how many people are going to show up. But your night is done.
Oh, yeah. And you're watching everybody.
Yeah. And for the people who have to go, they end up having to probably drive further out of their way than they might normally. And they're also dedicating to, they don't know what they're going to get either. It's just a mess.
And God forbid you have a problem with somebody. At an arcade, you handle it whatever the way you want to. When you're at somebody's house, you have very few options.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're the guest, and another guest is giving you shit. You pretty much have to hope that the host is a good guy, because that can end really badly.
Yeah, you just don't want to deal with that kind of crap either. Like, as somebody who does host a lot of hookups, I just don't want to deal with that crap. I really don't want to deal with people just not getting along. Like, hey, you don't get along, I mean, that's cool. You don't have to talk to each other.
Right.
Just don't create problems in my house. So, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. The arcade is neutral ground. And otherwise, it's just there's always all these different hoops you got to jump through.
And, well, anyway, that's why it's sad that the salt mines are closing up. But, we do have news from Watts that Super Arcade has a location, and possibly in a couple weeks we'll have an update for us on that. So, you guys will be getting your spot back.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. I know he posted a little thing about it. What was that, 2 weeks ago now? Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just talking about how they're looking to get a security guard for the spot, which is interesting. But then again, given some of given the reputations of arcades, maybe this was a requirement from the city.
It's either that or it's just because they're going to be open late anyway.
It's
Yeah,
most likely
definitely.
being open late.
Well, that's what I mean. And it's a requirement for the city. So.
Should hire Gibby.
Yeah. I don't have a license or.
Get one, man.
I'm not sure. I looked into it. That shit takes forever.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought you could get that shit like in a week.
It takes a few months to get everything that's needed. I say forever, but it's really just 2 fucking months.
Well, you could at least go through the process, and in a couple of months, you go over there, get the other guy fired, and you get a job.
Okay, cool. That's the plan.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yep. So, yeah, it's frustrating that you just see a lot of different places closing, a lot of places trying to open, not lasting that long.
Yeah,
but
and the ones that do last long, holy shit, do they go through weird makeovers? I don't want to. All right, I like the people who run the Foundry, and it's a good venue, but recently it has become a very centralized location for a small selection of games, whereas before it was about everything. And I'm not saying that it's still not open to everything, but I've been hearing things where people are saying, they're literally being thrown off of setups because they're told they're spending too much time on it. What the fuck?
It's a little weird.
It's a little much, right? What they do is they have these 4 PC setups, and I guess they're mainly for Dota and League and Hearthstone. And every now and then, one of them isn't being used, so the KOF guys have been, for the last couple of weeks, popping in KOF on Steam on there. Yeah. And recently, they got the shit, they got hollered at over it, because apparently they were just ruining everybody else's time or some shit. I don't know. I didn't think that was very cool of them to do. I feel like if we had options, maybe reserve a spot, if there is any, for other games that we could bring all the setups for. We don't need them to provide anything for us but the space. But yeah. I feel like that's not available anymore because I go there and all I ever see is Street Fighter 4 and Smash. Smash just takes over the whole fucking wall.
And that's really disappointing when you have a space that people are allowed to play some games at, but not all. Even when you guys are like, hey, we can bring setups. And they're just like, no, we don't care. That's just frustrating.
Yeah, the amount of space they have there, and if they're not willing to let us use it for whatever reason, it's almost like, well, why should we support? Why should anybody support?
Yeah, that's frustrating because you want to obviously support.
I think Paul died. Did my internet die?
You're not.
Oh, no.
You're not giving me anything.
Sorry, man. Your Skype just it censored you.
No, yeah. I think your internet died because I didn't hear anything.
I heard everything.
Oh, yeah, Gibby's internet must have messed up then.
Well,
something messed up.
We're back.
Oh dear.
Well, I can imagine what you said was something along the lines of, I want to help you out, but you're not giving me shit, so why should I?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to really say, okay, I want to support your place, but you're not going to even let me play there. So then you start to be like, well, why am I supporting this?
Yeah, and I haven't been there for a couple of weeks because of that, and it sucks because I really like that place. But if I go there and I have nothing to do but get drunk, I'm just going to wait till Friday.
Yeah, why not, right?
It's cheaper, it's more fun.
The thing that got me about the Foundry, I saw a post from the KOF guys saying hey guys, we're only allowed 1 hour time for a setup to play. So we're going to take the game and make it, 1v1 instead of 3v3.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was like, what the hell? It's one of those things, what use is playing for 1 hour? Seriously, if you're trying to get
Why
better,
are they only allowed 1 hour?
Yeah, I didn't get an answer for that.
That's what I was talking about, where it's just we can't even just reserve a PC for the night. We got people that'll play, they'll buy drinks. We're like everybody else here, but we can only play for an hour. And meanwhile, people are playing fucking MOBAs on there, and one game takes an hour.
Second-class citizens, once again, relegated to, the shithole.
Well, apparently relegated to not being there.
Not even allowed in the door, but I could buy their beer. The beer is good. To be fair, the beer is good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really upsetting.
And I've been so mad about that all week, and I didn't want to say shit because I like the people that run the Showdown. You know, Carolyn's the fucking shit.
Oh yeah, they're good people. It's just that makes no sense. And I'm not just saying it's a KOF thing. From what I've been told, almost every game has it except for like Street Fighter.
Yeah, like
Street Fighter and Smash, they get all the time they want. Those are the two biggest draws. I completely understand. But you're alienating the smaller communities. You're basically shutting them out for the most part.
yeah, and it's in it's in NorCal. It's in San Francisco, which is like one of the most diverse scenes in America because we literally play everything. God forbid you tell somebody there's CVS2 there.
I know, right? It's like, did you guys never hear about a place called Southtown Arcade? Have you never heard about haunts and all this other stuff they ran? You know, just whatever they wanted, and you know,
Those days were only spoken of in hushed whispers. So.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I
like
know
another
they've
thing
heard
to
of
do.
it because they fucking come up to me and talk about, hey, wasn't Southtown cool? I'm like, yeah, I used to love playing KOF there.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, I never saw you there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
And this is the thing about Southtown. You can go, like, okay, yeah, like we were saying earlier, it's an arcade, you can go play randomly, but they had something for everyone. Like, every day was dedicated to a certain genre of game, or a fighting game. You had the team games on Sunday, you had the 3D fighters on Saturday, or on Friday, you had the old school games Saturday, and then the days in between were filled with other shit. Then anime got thrown in with Sunday because, you know, KOF is anime, so...
Oh, there you go. See, yeah.
Sunday.
Everything had a time. Now I gotta go to fucking Young Center to play everything. Shit.
Well, the problem with Southtown was Lord Hans ended up legally changing his name to some other shit, and that ruined everything. He's no longer Hans.
Yeah, now he's fat too.
Yeah, he's fat too now. Like I don't know. Like I can't imagine Hans fat.
No, he's not really fat,
sure.
but he's fat hot. There we go.
Yeah, it sucks that Southtown closed. Then you guys had Game Center shut down, and now so Myung Center is an invite only thing now.
Sorta. It's like you kind of gotta. They're welcome to anybody coming in, but just like don't be horrible. Otherwise, you won't be let back. They're like, yeah, like it's pretty much like if you know someone that's cool, come in, but they're not, you know, they're not gonna turn away new people as long as you're not a dipshit.
Yeah.
I still gotta go and play Myung in old games and whoop his ass.
Oh, he'll love that shit. And I would love to like just be able to do that in my own city. I don't want to rant about this too much. Sorry.
Yeah, you need to not.
That shit's like I've got so many things to say. It's gonna be like another 2 hours before I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about. Just like support everyone. Don't just like you might not enjoy something else, but that doesn't mean you don't let them have their time.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you do is we're all like people say, oh, you know, I'm part of the Street Fighter community. I'm part of the KOF community. You're all fucking idiots. We're all part of the same goddamn community. We play fighting games. Work together. Don't be idiots. Simple as that. Like
I'm part of the Horseshoes community.
Well, that's not part of the fighting game community. I'm sorry.
Who's the brony now?
We're gonna play washers in the backyard. That's the new
shit. Yeah, like it sucks that this is happening now. It reminds me so much of the late '90s, where everything just became Capcom, and you had like a lot of the Tekken guys were alienated at one point until Tekken Tag 2 came out, or Tekken Tag 1. Jesus, 2. What the hell's wrong with me? The entire SNK community was kind of like shafted at almost every place too, and you just had anything that wasn't Capcom not being played, or people we need to kick you guys off the cab because there's too many people here waiting in line to play. Everyone wants to watch. So there were several tournaments I went to, like Marvel tournaments back in the day, Marvel 2, where I was playing 98 with some people, and they legitimately kicked us off the cabs because Marvel 2 was 2 cabs away from us, and they said they wanted people to stand next to, or they wanted people to stand next to those cabs so they can watch their opponents and study them, all this crap. I was like, what the hell?
What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah. And I was like, this is stupid. This is really dumb. So it's like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, go to the liquor store across the street. Go to the gas station, the laundromat and shit like that. I'm like, all right, fine.
It's like they told you to go to the liquor store. They told you to go to the liquor store, buy some liquor.
No, go to the liquor store and play, because back in the day here in SoCal, almost every liquor store had had cabs.
I thought it
sucked.
was literally telling you to go set yourself on fire or some shit.
That's essentially what's going on in the Foundry. Like, you guys aren't playing the game that everyone's here to play. Don't play. We don't want you playing your game. If you're gonna play it, you have a set amount of time to play it.
Yeah.
You can't be here all night.
And like, I get that they want to support Capcom because it's like, you know, if you're gonna run a venue, you might as well support Capcom. You know, that's the no-brainer. But the exclusion of other games, especially after the way they started, where every game was literally there and you just play whatever you wanted. You know, it's a really big, you know, change of atmosphere. Anyway, I'm done. I gotta go answer the door.
Okay. So, what else we gotta talk about? We covered that.
Tekken 7 revealed some new characters. Well, some old characters and a new character. We're getting the return of Jin, as if anyone should be surprised there.
Wait, Jin? No way. I thought that he was being left out of this game. Too many Mishimas.
I really am surprised they're doing the whole Jin Devil Jin thing, but it makes sense. For the storyline purposes, at least. Mm-hmm. And then the new character is Josie or Josie. I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced, to be honest with you. Risal.
Let's just say it's Josie.
Huh?
Let's just say it's Josie.
There you go. But so that's cool. More new characters for Tekken 7. And you know,
I do want to chime in a very small complaint.
Which is,
I'm super excited for this game. It looks great. So somebody showed off that. Actually, I think this was Eris, because I had noticed this initially with Josie's Super or Rage Art.
Mm-hmm.
It looked really similar to something I'd seen before from another Capcom game, and it took me a while to think about it. It's actually the Killick replacement Super from the latest Soul Calibur game.
Oh, is it really?
Just without the stick.
Yeah,
so
there's
then,
a video of floating around on Twitter.
Yeah, so Aries put it up, I think, on Avoiding the Puddle, that the Devil Jin Super is actually another Soul Calibur Super, and the regular Jin Super is actually a Jin command throw from from Tekken 6, I think. So it's like that's a little lazy, guys.
I mean,
the Josie one really stands out once you see it, because it's like, oh
yeah, I would have to honestly go back and watch.
I linked it in chat.
Did you?
Both Twitch chat and Skype.
Yeah, because
also at the same time, it kind of has somewhat of a Soccer Ultra One feel.
Kind of, but once you realize there's a stick missing, you're like, that's not quite a relaxed handle.
So, I don't know. I'm still interested to see what other characters are going to end up in this game, because obviously we definitely haven't seen all of the characters yet. I'm really just waiting for Kuma. I mean, fuck everything else. If the bear doesn't show up, I'm going to be really upset.
He has to be in the game. Kuma's a stable character.
Yeah, he is.
And Jack 7 is in the game, right?
No, not yet.
Wow. 2 stable characters. What the hell?
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, and I'm going to be really angry.
I'm angry almost all the time.
I know.
That's going to be a great episode.
I wish I didn't care so much about things.
Yeah, me too.
You wish you had no feelings, like you were, basically a robot?
I wish I was a robot. Robots are kick ass.
Yeah, thanks, Terminator Triple H.
Oh, God. So, all right. So, I couldn't see the outfit from my seat.
Dude, it's awful. It's so just clown shoes. It's
my God.
It's fucking clown shoes.
But
the whole match then descended into clown shoes, and it was fine. I was like, okay, I can deal with this. It's just one big joke. So
I thought it started out well enough.
I think it's because the T2 music will always get you amped. Like, tell me that theme starting doesn't make you just want to fight robots.
Oh no, everybody lost their shit when that happened. Like, we all were just like, everybody in the audience was just like, ridiculous. But then the match wasn't that bad for the most part until NWO comes out And then, DX comes out,
DX
the NWO
came
comes out, and we're just kind of, everybody's like, oh, this is cool. Wait a minute, what the fuck is this?
The whole point was that you didn't say, what the fuck is this, until the match was about over. So they did exactly what they were supposed to be there to do.
Exactly.
Cover time.
They did a pretty good job of it, I think. I mean, I was definitely fooled.
Yeah.
Are we going to touch upon the almost inexplicable Sting intro?
Oh, you mean how Sting is the last samurai?
He's a fucking weeb.
Like, I literally did not understand that.
Like,
At no part, like, in Sting's character at any point in time, did they really do anything with this? Like, why couldn't they have just gone with the old Crow music he used to use? I don't understand.
So, all right, so I was trying to think about it backwards. Think of it this way. With Triple H, this was obviously a tie-in to Terminator Genesis in theaters. Who gives a fuck? So you got it. Like, this was a promo for both Triple H and this was an intro for Triple H and a promo for the movie, right? So I was like, wait, was there some sort of cultural thing about Levi Stadium that I don't know about?
Not that I know of.
Am I missing something? Like, I don't know NorCal that well. Like,
really lost on the whole.
Well, no, the whole thing is, they play in the Niners Stadium. Niners are shit, so Triple H had to do shit too.
Wow, this guy. By the way, I just want to say a big fuck you to all the Raiders that showed up to talk shit about the stadium, about how it stank. You just smelling your upper lips.
I was thinking about it later on too, where it's like they did this whole like I don't even, like Ronin angle. I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to be like. He's got these, I have no idea. And then I was thinking about it. It did make sense because this dude used a bat like fucking some Miyato fucking swordsmanship right now. Just straight slash through a sledgehammer.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was 100 times awful. Like, the intros were awful. The match itself was entertaining crap.
It was a huge mess, but
it was a hot mess. But I mean, it wasn't a dumpster fire. It was just a hot mess.
What was that handshake at the end?
I don't know. It was like the most awkward handshake ever.
Like, I was really hoping that for the handshake he'd like do the bait where you stick it out there and he stares at it for a while, not quite sure if you're serious, and then he does the full heel where it's like retracts it at the last second and just tells him to suck it. Like, how brilliant would that have been?
That would have been great. But I
think Sting should have took off his unitard to reveal an NWO shirt and then hit Triple H.
He wasn't wearing anything underneath though.
I know.
Why didn't Ric Flair come out to help him?
That's what I was wondering.
Ric Flair had a heart attack backstage, so.
But then he was there with like Daniel Bryan.
That was before.
It was the prototype for every main event in WCW from '97 to like 2001 when they went under though. Just messy overbooking. Shit didn't need to be there. Really dumb spots like I break your sledgehammer with my baseball bat.
Thanks, Vince Russo.
And then a nonsensical ending. Triple H goes over. Huh?
He goes over, shakes his hand, and then 20 minutes later comes out and says, "Man, I really fucked that guy up."
It was the best. He was a heel, and then he was a face for the handshake, and then he came out and buried him later. I was like, excellent.
Scumbag.
Vince Russo is booking tonight. Well played. I didn't know they let you back in anywhere these days.
Oh my god. That segment with H and Stephanie, I was actually really happy that it did turn into what it was going to turn into, because I was like, wow, for a second, this is like the biggest like dick move they've ever done, where like they just waste time by telling us we spent money on them. And then tell us thanks.
Like it was really telling that The Rock got the biggest pop all night.
Yeah. Like
how bad is that?
It just shoehorned it, and The Rock hasn't gotten a pop like that in a long time, mind you.
No, he didn't actually. Yeah. When he came back for WrestleMania last year, was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
I think it was last year because he fought Cena and.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did the once in a lifetime twice. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't get a pop.
No.
He kind of got booed last year. They both kind of did.
Yeah.
And he definitely got booed when he fought Punk at Royal Rumble.
And he got booed when he fucking tried to make Roman Reigns look like a boss.
Yeah. But yeah, he definitely got the biggest pop of the night. So hopefully that means Triple H versus Rock at WrestleMania 32. That will actually sell some seats, guaranteed.
I'd like to see that.
I was sad that Triple H's knees didn't explode when he did the pedigree, thus revealing his skeleton, his robot skeleton on the inside.
Underneath.
Yeah.
It's made out of paper mache.
It's called an endoskeleton, guys.
Oh man.
No, it's living tissue over metal endoskeleton.
Oh.
Jesus.
So his brain is a neural net processor, a learning computer. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just checking. Assholes.
But yeah. So I was surprisingly okay with the Undertaker Bray Wyatt ending.
I said this. I thought it was really silly that the Undertaker went over, but it was what the crowd seemed to want, and the crowd wasn't booing the Undertaker. In fact, they seemed genuinely happy that he won. So for my money, that was the right choice.
Yeah. I think for Bray Wyatt, him winning would have been humongous. And, I mean, him being there in general is okay. It's not going to hurt him. Him losing doesn't really do anything for him, though. Like, either way. Like, there's no, like, negative side to it.
Move over, new stars. Oh, my God. That Andre the Giant Memorial Battle pissed me off to no end. It's like, oh, man, check it out. All your fan favorites just knocked out by the Big Show himself.
You didn't really think...
He was just walking around, sauntering around, like, I was like, I'm going to push this guy, grab his throat. I'm going to punch him. He has to get knocked out because that's what...
I was really mad that he chokeslammed Big E out of the ring. I was like, how the fuck are you going to chokeslam Big E out of the ring?
I have one good thing to say about this, though. Now, I understand. A lot of fan favorites were dumped out. Yeah, he made Mizdow look like a geek at the end. But Big Show was not on the main WrestleMania card. And that is something I'm very thankful for.
That's true. We did not see Big Show or Kane.
I would rather, I would rather every year they just do a WrestleMania Battle Royal that Big Show can win and just keep him out of everywhere else. Just don't even fucking let him wrestle. Just be like, do what they did with Andre in the 70s. Just schedule a Battle Royal, let him win it, and done.
Paul, I think about what you're saying right now. So you're saying you would rather he be contained to a sideshow every year instead of watching his wonderful moves like the run into you shoulder, the really big punch, and the chokeslam. And let's not forget the
I know he has a fourth one somewhere.
Hold on, is getting winded a thing? Like
the standing in the corner spot.
The frying pan like hands.
No, it's called the rope-a-dope, guys.
Does he do that?
Huh?
He pretends to get tired and then he somehow wins the match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'll be standing on the rope, be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna fall over. Time to throw you."
You forgot about his hand chops the size of manhole covers.
I'm disappointed that
You really need to see him in person to appreciate how.
I'm disappointed that Hideo Itami didn't put the Big Show on his shoulders and hit him with the go to sleep.
What the fuck?
He's only like a foot and a half taller than him and probably like easily like 100, 200 more pounds.
I'm sure he could have done.
He did. You know what? Big Show did hit a flying, I guess it was a shoulder block to Eric Rowan that I think may have sent him back to NXT last.
Wow.
Poor Eric Rowan.
Just never had a chance, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I was in the stands.
You know Look, when you come up and they immediately name you after a chewing gum, you're not getting over it. They fucking called him Big Red. Like, come on.
God.
Didn't anybody, check a pack of gum in, the last 60 years?
Didn't anybody check that maybe we call Kane that?
No, that's the Big Red Machine.
Oh, my bad.
Which, actually, if you think about it, what if it turns out that the entire backstory to Kane is, going to get retconned, that he's actually a machine that makes Big Red gum?
Yeah, he made Eric Rowan.
And every time
what he does is he takes unrefined Energon and turns it into Big Red.
Yeah, they could just remake that WWF game from the 90s, like the arcade wrestling game where you punch Kane and just gum flies out.
Man.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, they call him Corporate Kane now, but everybody still remembers everybody calling him the Big Red Machine like a year and a half ago, or two,
Yeah.
actually it's more than that now. It's 2 because Team Hell No was 2 years ago, I think, and they were still calling him the Big Red Machine.
Yeah, he was still the demon.
I just like how
he was the Demon King. He was the Big Red Machine. He was the Devil's favorite something. Devil's favorite demon, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I just like how
the WWE really likes little taglines like way too much.
Yeah,
Like,
they do.
The Franchilante Sting. What the hell was that shit? He's
What
the
the-
franchise. He's the Vigilante. No, he's the Franchilante.
That sounds like a drink at Starbucks.
Yeah, I'd like my Franchilante double cream.
Can I get a French Lenti Grande?
extra mayo, please.
Oh!
Well, yeah, like, I just like how the fact just like being a demon and then getting your ass kicked so bad, you're just like, fuck it,
I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna get a job.
It's better than this garbage. Put on some khakis.
Well,
No, puts on some dress pants, takes his shirt off. I just don't understand.
yeah, what the fuck is that shit, dude? He just
I
wrestles
don't
with no shirt
understand.
on.
Like, at least Erwin R. Scheisser wrestled in a white shirt and a tie. Like,
Sir, the suspenders.
yeah, that's true. But damn, I just don't understand. I really don't understand.
What I want to know is what was Roman Reigns saying to Brock Lesnar when he was getting the shit kicked out of him?
He said, "I'm sorry. I love you." I'm good. I wonder how many people are going to get that reference, but I don't know. I did catch some 4-letter words in there.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, ooh, they're gonna have to just cut that from all memory.
But there's something that I feel like people are not making a big enough deal about, and the fact that Brock very clearly bladed like a motherfucker on
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah.
pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was just gone. We were done with that. But like, there was no way in hell that was even close to hard way. Like, he just straight did it. He's like, "Yep, I make enough money that I don't care if you find me, Brent."
It's like, yeah, we're getting so much heat, baby. He's like, oh. That was like when he started bleeding, like the entire crowd was like, oh, and I'm like, actually, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it made the match better.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, that's the thing, because like when I was first watching it, I was just not into it at all. I was just kind of like, man, they're literally just gonna squash Reigns.
I mean, I would have been fine with that.
I think almost everybody would have been fine. I wasn't gonna be fine with it because I felt like if you're at least gonna like, because I feel like they're giving in to the crowd reaction at that point, because they were obviously trying to sell Reigns as a badass that could beat Brock Lesnar, and then him getting squashed by Brock Lesnar almost sounds like, well, we don't want to piss off everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you've been pissing off everybody all year.
Well, I felt like they could have done. I mean, where it looked like the match was going at the beginning with this guy's getting his just a shit kicking, but he never will actually get pinned. Like, he was doing a John Cena thing in a more compelling way because he actually had an attitude about it. Like, he was
Right.
getting beat up and he's just laughing at Brock. That's kind of cool. That's something that people can get behind. That's
Yeah.
actually a badass thing, where John Cena never shows emotion because he's a damn robot. And he's just like, "I'll always get up, kids."
Would
It's
Ronald
not
Reagan
interesting.
show emotion to the
Oh my God! Don't
evil
even. Oh fuck! When he had Ronald Reagan in the fucking Titantron, I was like, "This is not helping your case,
Dude,
Holy
that
shit.
Rusev entrance though was amazing.
Oh,
that
that
was
great.
immaculate.
I was saluting.
It was
His name
phenomenal.
is John Cena.
I'm not gonna do it again. Just a little teasing.
I
Take it away before I put it away.
What sucked was, so the Rusev intro was amazing. It was great. And then John Cena just walks out normally. It's like, well,
he's
he
like-
should have walked out to the national anthem at least. That would have been, that would have
this
worked.
dude opens up with like fucking footage of Ronald Reagan like rambling incoherently, and I'm just like, was this supposed to make you like more likable?
No, like what I didn't get is like, why did you go for jingoism? Like, why did you have Bush, W. Bush in there? Like,
Yeah.
why?
Like, what's going
Like,
on here?
Why couldn't you fucking feature real patriots like Captain America or the Falcon or one of the Roosevelts?
Teddy Roosevelt, right? Like fucking Teddy Roosevelt. He
Yeah,
killed
why
him.
didn't they got a video of Roosevelt?
An actor named
I've done a lot better video packages about like 4th of July and shit like that. And I just felt like this was really ham-handed and over the top.
Like, why did they go with these of all presidents? Why did they go with this? Like, either Roosevelt could have worked. You fucking throw Kennedy in there. Who gives a shit?
I think somebody said Kennedy was in
Kennedy
there.
wasn't there. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that one. But
For like a split second.
why did we get these two as the ones with voiceovers? It's like, why don't they just have a clip of somebody going, "They're stealing our jobs"?
You've got.
Yeah, why don't they have Alex Jones in the clip?
Oh my god.
You got Reagan in there because Reagan had to deal with Russia back in the day.
See, that's what I was thinking.
See, and then you've got Bush because Bush had to deal with all the Middle Eastern crap. So that's why
I
they
really
did
wish
that.
they had just had Sylvester Stallone as Rocky.
Yeah, I would have accepted that one a little better. By the way, I was saluting the entire time Rusev was having his entrance. It pissed off like everybody in my section.
Sick.
That's
Doing it
amazing.
right.
I'm glad that many people in your section still believe it's real. Where's my
please just
ticket
tell me
section?
not
It's still real to me, damn it.
Oh god.
Damn it! I told Ticketmaster I specifically wanted the no commie section.
Yeah.
Like, how could you be a communist? You're black with dreadlocks. Like, come on. I invented communism.
I'm as much as, obviously we all knew Rusev was doing the big job.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that they treated him like really he was a big deal. He was super important. See, it's like they treated Wyatt like last year, except then he jobbed to Cena, but it wasn't even as convincing because Cena beat up 3 people.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, see, this year, Rusev actually got pushed into somebody else, and you could actually say he can technically blame Lana for losing. Meanwhile, last year against the Wyatts, Cena beat all 3 of them up. He rose above hate, and then he not FU'd them all into a garbage dumpster and set it on fire.
Sir. That wasn't an FU. That was an adjustment of attitude.
Oh, shut the hell up.
Oh no. Yeah, that was actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
No, it wasn't. I thought it wasn't as good as their Fastlane match,
No.
but it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Dean Ambrose is coming down the aisle. But
Oh, man.
the acolyte adjustment, yes.
Oh god.
Anything else you want to talk about? We're a little early, but anything else you want to talk about from Mania? Any other news we might have missed?
Seth Rollins coming out was amazing.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, somebody please send me $24.99 so I can purchase the Seth Rollins t-shirt.
All the Seth Rollins commemorative.
Dude, if you could have seen like everybody in the audience when he was handing in the briefcase and that ref was just like stalling for time and everybody is like doing the pee-pee dance like, come on! Get it going already!
They're just like just hopping on each foot, shaking their fingers like, do it
Come
already.
on! He's gonna get up! Oh, that was the best.
I went to NXT this weekend.
Oh yeah.
And I want to say that I wholeheartedly enjoyed it way more than watching WrestleMania. It was really good. Honestly, the best match probably was the Divas match that I saw. And NXT is a quality product. No, seriously,
And
it
it
was
got
really
your
good.
money that night.
Yeah, it was worth it.
You even bought merch.
I did. I got an NXT shirt and a Bailey slap bracelet that Ringe apparently gets mad at me for buying, and think you too.
No, I
Well-
was actually just laughing about it.
Oh, well,
I got nothing against Bailey.
I think it's hilarious.
Look, man.
I mostly got it because I'm like, man, slap bracelets are so like crazy out of style. Well, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I'll just have this thing.
See,
as a
and if
member.
you guys come to NCR, you can get a picture of Lord Walkman with the slap bracelet.
That's not necessarily true. I
Or a
found
video
it
of
right.
him slapping it on.
Yeah.
But will we get
Want
a video
CVM?
of Lord Walkman snapping into a Slim Jim?
Yeah.
If we can find a
yeah,
box,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Why don't we get a video of all of us snapping into a Slim Jim?
Can I snap into some carne seca?
Chips!
I really want some so
That works
bad.
too.
Hey, look, it's either the Slim Jims or you snap into these nuts.
Wow.
I'll take the
Well, I
Slim
used to live by a Blue Diamond, so
Jim. What the
I mean-
fuck?
I did. when I grew up, there was almond orchards everywhere. What do you expect?
Almonds are good.
They're
I'm
delicious.
gonna have some after this.
Did anyone actually watch the Red Bull Kumite?
I saw
I saw a little
5
bit
and
of
a
it,
half
yeah.
to 10 minutes of it.
I was-
When you guys mentioned like anime intro for Sting is going to say is nothing compared to what happened at the Red Bull Kumite, where every goddamn player had some stupid anime intro music.
So, as someone that actually woke up super early for whatever reason and watched a good part of it, that shit was hilarious.
They fought in.
They fought in like what was basically an octagon.
No, it wasn't an octagon.
It was a tentagon, whatever.
It wasn't a tentagon.
It was a decigon.
Well, it wasn't a decigon.
Was it a hexagon?
Wasn't a hexagon.
What the fuck was it?
Wasn't it like a septagon?
It was 6-sided, guys. Come on.
That's a hex.
That's a hexagon.
I know.
Wow.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
So anyway, everyone kind of came into their own like anime selected music, which is fucking hilarious. Like some choice examples were Nemo coming out to Berserk, if I'm not mistaken, Forces. Like that's an amazing intro. Shin coming out to Cruel Angel's Thesis. Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but someone came out to the third Dragon Ball Z opening.
That was Tokido, which was no. Because I think.
And then someone came out to the Escaflowne theme.
That was Bonchan coming out to Escaflowne constantly. The ones that I enjoyed were, I think, one of the former 3S players came out to the HNK opening, and I can't remember who it was that came out to Saint Seiya, because that was like, like Pegasus Fantasy. Like, if you don't like that opening, I'll fight you in the streets. Like,
I just need to ask something, Paul. These two are big ass nerds, right?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Right, cool. I mean,
only he is. I ain't no book reader.
I don't know. I mean, you guys are definitely naming things off. It's like from this show. This is the third intro. The second, like Jesus.
Well, you gotta be specific when you're in the news business.
I do want to say that I did appreciate that they were using the proper original Japanese BGM for Dragon Ball Z.
Nope. 3.
The Cell Saga stuff was mwah.
The one thing I will say about that event, like, it was neat. They had some interesting stuff. There were definitely a few things that just definitely didn't get thought out the entire way. So there's a bunch of interviews that they would do between the players that just ended up slipping through the cracks, because you'd end up with French interviewers and Japanese players that don't speak French with a translator, but the translator can't speak English, so it never got to the crowd or the audience at home. So the commentators that were on the mic were just like making shit up the entire time, just to kind of like keep things lively. It's like, oh yeah, Tokido says he doesn't like tacos or some shit. Like, they're just making shit up the entire time.
This is one of those things where it was a French event, European event.
Yeah.
Like, them doing it in French, whatever, that's fine. The thing I find dumb is that you had all these players invited. I think 10 of them were from Asia somewhere. 1 French, 2 European, and then two. Or I'm sorry, it's basically no. They had.
It was a wank fest for
they
sure.
They had Reinhardt. They had Choo Choo. They had Kwangster. I think his name is Gigapa or Gogapa or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one other person. Basically 5 people from non-Asian countries, like out of 16 players, and 2 of those people qualified, like in a tournament before that. Why are you going to hold an invitational tournament in a country and not invite a decent chunk of the players from that country? That's what I find stupid.
That's fair.
I think what the bigger issue with that was like, what was the criteria for them to pull from? You know,
Names.
But the thing, there's names all over the world, and was a very large portion of it that was very unrepresented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's what Gibby's saying. Like, it's just kind of weird.
Beyond that player aspect, there was another, like, the thing that bugged me is, like, they obviously had this commentary for the English-speaking audience, it seemed.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't understand that.
But there's so much of it that's just slipping through the cracks because there's no translation of the French or of the Japanese to the greater audience, which is like, you don't have to do it because it's obviously French-specific. It's being run there, but it just seems kind of weird that you would go so far and then not go the entire way to provide a service.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was also the shit show that they had in one of the breaks.
Oh no, please don't tell me.
Because they had the 2 side events, and the second side event to kind of like kill time was an exhibition between I want to say it was mostly French, I think, but European Third Strike players and
It was all French Third Strike.
Okay, all French Third Strike. And Kokujin and Nuki. And there was supposed to be other of the SF4 players joining in, but they decided, we're just going to concentrate on SF4. They don't want to play Third Strike at that moment. Which I guess Nemo used to play. Like, did anyone know this? Like, did Tokido used to play Third Strike? These are all news. This is breaking news to me. They had that exhibition. It was neat. The French team was a total of 6 players versus the 2. French ended up winning, I think, after 4 of them got plowed through.
Yeesh.
But they did it, which was cool. And like that wasn't so bad. Like I would have wanted them to like kind of play out the last 2 French players and just to see what happens, or give them a chance to play. So that was fine as a side event. The other shit show that they had was
a fucking Omega mode.
It was Omega mode. I'm just trying to describe it because it was. I don't even know who the hell this guy was. They came in with the Conan. Was it the Barbarian? It was the Barbarian intro. So he came into the Conan the Barbarian intro, and he has a crown that he's wearing that has a gigantic poop in the center of it. And he's just dressed like some hype beast with like some black shirt, pink tie, and like the most like gaudy yellow lime green shorts. And I'm just like, okay, where's this going? Dude's just wearing.
Was he a stocky guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that's Kenpachi, if I remember right.
Okay. And he played Daiminion, who came in full hoodie, like completely hoodied, like he was
He pulled
legit
the strings on that shit.
Yeah, like the strings tied up, like he was one of the Akatsuki or whatever the hell, I don't know.
He just came in like his boy Triforce, is what you're trying to say.
I didn't want to say that.
There
I was trying to dance around it.
Boom.
Like,
Done. Let's do this.
and they played Omega mode, and I was like, this is the crappiest bunch of crap that ever crapped. Like, I actually would have preferred either Dead Silence or whatever horrible EDM they wanted to throw in our face.
The whole joke was the guy would pick Gin and mash light kick, and yeah, he actually had light kick on auto fire, and whenever he would catch somebody with it, he would put his drink bottle on his light kick button and stand up and start ghost riding the whip.
Yeah, that was about it. That was the entire. That was it. That was a little side event that they had.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that sounds like it was awful.
Mm-hmm. Like
And
the rest.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, like the rest of the event was fine. Like there were some interesting matches. Tokido talking shit to Bonchan was pretty tight.
Well, I love that.
That was some good shit talk. Like that was quality. But if they do it again, it's like, hey, there's stuff you can fix.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, guys?
Oh yes. Actually, Tony, go ahead.
What?
Were you interested?
Oh.
I'm just gonna pretend to be you now. So this past weekend, Nika KO from the New York area or the East Coast Third Strike player came out and played against Pyro and Yi and the other people that play in the Boiler Room in the Van Nuys, North Hollywood area. You can get the footage if you want to watch it at. Let me actually get that URL because it's stupid. You can actually watch their stream archives at All Right That's Cool. So twitch.tv/All Right That's Cool. Their YouTube is a different account, but just search Pyro Lee or Nika and whatever isn't fucking 4 years old. You'll find it. The other cool thing is that there's going to be another 3S Fight Club event at Next Level May 29th, I think 29th and 30th. And they've announced Vanao.
Wow, really?
But Ryu Legend as being in attendance.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that'll be super dope. Like the last couple of events that they had have been pretty neat. The last one had my boy Ken in Black in exhibition matches. And he might have disappointed me, but he's still my boy. But definitely check those out if you want to watch some decent Third Strike footage from the US of A.
We got some killers.
Yeah, we got some people.
Yep.
Look, man,
Is it happening? Oh, okay, never mind.
They don't just
May
let
29th.
anybody in the SBO, is all I'm going to say.
Not anymore.
Especially since the doors are closed. Well,
Yeah, speaking of this weekend, we had Old Man SNK Gathering where nothing got recorded. Everyone got drunk, ate food, and played shitty games. You had legitimately a combined total of maybe 250 some odd years of people in the SNK scene. Just right there. It was great. You guys should have been there. You would have hated all of us. It's amazing. I miss these people.
Hey, wait, actually, Chris, I have a question for you because I've been laughing at this the entire week.
What's up?
What is your Twitter avatar from? Like,
Oh yeah, all right. So,
just the post of your boy ain't even phased. Like, I just bring it up
Isn't
every
that
now and then.
Super Troopers?
no, I changed it.
He's got a new one.
Oh,
I changed it. So the morning that I came up with all that stuff, there was a KOF 13 tournament going on Nico. It was Famitsu brand. I think it's because they're gonna stop covering the arcade version of it. So that was like the send-off tournament. And so they basically had like all these dudes in the room, and they were just sitting on head-to-head caps. And at the end of it, like the camera just zooms in on this guy, right? And he's just like, and I'm just like, dude, this guy looks so cool. Like I want to get drunk with this guy. It looks like he's a party animal. And then like your boy in the fucking bra and panties comes in, and he's just like, whatever, man. This is like fucking Tuesday.
That guy in your avatar honestly looks like the combination between me and my brother. If somehow we had some sort of middle ground genetics, I'm sure one of us would have looked like that.
Like I can just picture him looking at the dude in the bra and panties off shot, just going like, "All right, man." Like, I'm just over here doing me, and dude's over here with like the purse, bra and panties, and nothing else.
He's just like, dude, this is like not even impressive to me, man. Like
it's like I've seen this and more. Like your boy ain't even phased.
All right. I think we're done here. Especially since I'm missing the Raw
oh shit,
on West Coast.
my bad.
It is your bet. No. All right, so that about wraps it up for this week's Radio. Wow. We're really done now. Thanks everybody for listening, and for everybody here. Good night and good luck.
Money sound effect.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna watch this Raw because apparently it's been insane. So be back later.
Right?
I'll be back. I'm gonna take a piss and grab some food.
I'm still at work,
Sir.
but I'm from the office. That's why I was quiet for like